This is how I transformed my old childhood nerf gun into a remote-controlled nerf turret engineering project using an arduino board. So, my idea was simple. Using this remote controller, I wanted to fire this nerf gun, which previously looked like this by the way, all with the help of this arduino board. Sounds simple enough, right? If only that was true. Now, let me take you through the journey of my first real electronics project. The first order of business was to dust off my old nerf gun and see if it still worked, which of course it didn't. The battery pack had built up some sort of blue gunk leakage from the old batteries, preventing it from receiving any power, so I started this project by cleaning it out. When I was done, I tried turning it on, but again I got nothing. This is the point where I opened the nerf gun up to see what's inside, and this is what I saw, well, without the arduino circuit. A simple circuit where the batteries goes to a trigger switch, which goes to an on-off switch, and then lastly to the motor. Having no idea what the problem could be, I took out my trusted voltmeter to probe the voltage over the different components and concluded that the on-off switch was the problem. So you must have forgotten to turn it on, I hear you say. Well, it's a good guess given we're talking about me, but actually not this time. The on-off switch was just broken, so I came up with a brilliant idea. I removed it completely from the circuit, so my new circuit looked like this: battery to trigger switch to motor, a simpler one that also worked. Great, now the real Arduino project could finally begin. What I wanted was basically the same circuit as before, except instead of the trigger switch, I wanted the Arduino to decide when the gun should fire. To make this work, I needed something called a transistor, which is basically an electrical switch controlled by the Arduino in this case. Conveniently, I had a bunch of these lying around. So I wired everything up, uploaded a simple Arduino program, and it worked.
What?
For about half a second, and then it stopped. I checked my code, but it was just a simple script that turned the transistor on and off for a few seconds. Not much that could go wrong here. Next, I checked the wiring, since this was the part where I trusted myself the least, but everything looked correct here as well. So I figured it must have been a fluke, and I tried again with another transistor, but the results were no different. It would take me 3 more transistors and a lot of head scratching until I noticed a very faint smell, and at this point we've entered what I like to call the transistor massacre. So yeah, remember that smell? As you might have guessed by now, it was coming from burnt transistors, so I finally did what I should have done from the start, which is to read the goddamn datasheet, and sure enough, the transistors I was using was rated for 0.1 amps, while the nerf gun motor was pulling about 10 times that. Relieved that I found my issue and slightly frustrated about it, I researched the much stronger MOSFET transistors. I went to buy one, plugged it in, and the nerf gun finally fired.
Let's go, baby!
The rest was easy. I just added the remote control code, gave the gun a well-needed glow up, and just like that, my old childhood nerf gun had evolved into a remote controlled nerf turret.